What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Field Vision. I'm your host, Bryan Clinton, contributor at OUinsider.com. Today we're continuing our series of taking a look at some of the impact freshmen coming in for Oklahoma, and we will stay on the offensive side of the ball today with four-star running back Taylor Tatum. He comes to Norman by way of Longview, Texas. He's listed at 5'10", 205 pounds, was the number one running back in the 2024 class, number 51 overall player in the class according to Rivals. A couple things there. First, he has been slight of build for his frame for a few years, and so this year was the first time that a lot of the guys that got a lot of eyes on him said that there was a noticeable difference in his physique. I would imagine that just continues to improve as he gets into the Oklahoma weightlifting and dietary program there. I would expect him to be in the best shape of his life, really, by the time the season rolls around. So that's only going to continue to improve. Another thing is when you come into a room that already has guys like Gavin Sawchuk, Devontae Barnes is back. You've got some experienced guys ahead of him. You know, the first thing to do a lot of times is people will write off the freshman. This is not necessarily a guy that I would write off as a non-contributor in year one, despite his youth. This is a guy that, on film at least, really jumps out. And so let's just jump right over to his senior highlight reel.
Mando is a proud sponsor of OU Insider. My guys, you ever lift a little too hard or just forget to apply your daily deodorant and get hit by a truckload of BO from all directions? Or does that 3-in-1 shampoo leave you needing a second shower just a few hours after the first? Well, from the founders of Lumi, Mando Whole Body Deodorant is helping men conquer their odor in a brand new way. Formulated with mandelic acid, Mando has long-lasting 72-hour odor control that actually stops odor before it starts. Mando also boasts cologne-quality scents, including their bestseller, Bourbon Leather. Brandon and I both love it. We take a Bourbon Leather body wash wherever we go on the road in a travel size. It's a game changer. It was for us. It will be for you. We've got a special offer for you as well. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code and link. So use code INSIDER at shopmando.com, shopmando.com. Again, to help you get hooked on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market, you can get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you use code INSIDER at shopmando.com, shopmando.com. It's time to smell better naked. Your partner will thank you.
First thing that you'll notice immediately right off the bat is the vision. He has very, very good instincts when it comes to finding a crease. You see this one just kind of opens up just right as the guard comes around and is pulling there. As soon as he finds his spot, Tatum is gone and into the second level, and at that point he's already got enough momentum that he's rolling at that point. So the vision is something that's going to jump out time and time again as you watch this film on him. The other thing is which just kind of mentioned and alluded to there, is the speed. Once he gets to the second level and he really kicks the burners on, he does have very good speed, especially for somebody who's playing in West Texas and is playing against a really good quality opponent week in and week out. And so you see some of that speed here on display. Something you don't see a lot of is, especially on these highlight reels for running backs, is guys lining up out in the slot and showing what they can do as a receiver. And we noticed that he is running some of these routes that are deeper. He's running longer route concepts, and is a guy that's kind of showing what he can do down the field as a receiver. That's great. That's a really good quality. Somebody that it's second nature for him to attack the ball as a receiver in the air, which is great. And he's got soft hands and shows a finesse whenever it comes to catching the ball. He doesn't catch the ball like a running back. A lot of times it almost feels stiff You don't see that from him, at least on film here. Here's another example of the vision, and that's kind of what that's what I would say is probably his strongest suit right now, would be his vision. This, at least from this angle, is pretty clogged up. I mean, you've got a lot of red there, and he finds a way to not only work through a crease, but he uses this crack block from the strong side wide receiver here to spring the play. And so you see him, he actually times it up perfectly, and he's able to see that, anticipate that block, and move off of it. And that's what ends up springing the play. That's the vision that we talk about. That is really he's well ahead of his time with that. And so here we get another opportunity to see him as a receiver out of the backfield. Again, impressive. Really like that. There's a couple of plays in here where he shows off his arm. I don't know how much of that will be used. At least on the football field, he will play baseball for the Sooners, and is a very, very highly touted baseball prospect as well. So here you see him change a little bit of direction. Things are blown up on the strong side of the play here, and he's able to work things around, and the defense kind of over pursues, and he's able to make something out of nothing here. Again, just he's able to take something that should have been a negative play and turns it into a first down. It just kind of shows the special kind of athlete he is. So here we go. Here's a good example of some of his physicality. A guy, again, who is still putting on weight. He runs behind his pads well, and a lot of it comes with the confidence that he has as he approaches the line of scrimmage. Whether that's confidence just in his ability, but two in knowing what he's seeing and able to make it work. And here, these let's pause here. These looks, these angles is really where you get an idea for how well he moves and how well he sees the field. His lateral speed, where he's able to change gaps here and really put pressure on these linebackers, is impressive. And it doesn't take long for him to break this play off and end up taking it to the house. So that lateral speed is, boom, right there is again, that's why he's the top rated running back in the class. Again, this one on this play, the whole really, with them running this kind of zone concept, it just opens up a lot of things for him to be able to make it work. And with an athlete like that, it's super easy. Here we go. Here's one where he's got to be patient. And these are the ones that are really impressive, right? You've got, so as this play develops right here, there's three bodies around him, but he's able to allow those blocks to develop, and he uses 52 there to set things up, and it ends up, or excuse me, not 52, is that 58? It's the backside guard, and he's able to allow to set things up there, and is able to burst through a crease that's not really even there. Again, that's one of the intangibles for a guy that's the top rated running back in the class. Here we go again. Here's some of the development that we see, or excuse me, his ability to let plays develop and blocks develop, and he's able to make something with his patience. He's able to extend this play and turn it into something even greater than what it was. Finishes it off nicely there with a physical play. So at this point in the film, I mean, you've seen a lot of different things from him, and we've got some notes here that we'll go over as this kind of plays along. So the vision and the patience, which we've talked about multiple times, jumps off the screen immediately. He's very decisive, and he runs with anticipation, which is, again, something that for a guy coming in to Oklahoma, he's well ahead of what most freshmen are in that regard. So really like that. One of the things that sticks out about Tatum is that he exhibits several different skill types in this highlight reel. So you can tell that he's able to be that one cut slasher kind of running back where he's able to find an edge and make the defense pay. You kind of see that right here as we're talking about it. He sees there's no contain. He's able to break outside on this play, and it ends up being a big gainer. That's one cut and out the gate. You also see that he is able to run with some violence and is able to run through trash, which, again, I promise this isn't scripted, but this right here, this play is a perfect example of that. There's a lot of red hats there, and he's able to run through that and pick up a first down on what looks like a 2nd and 8. So, yeah, that's again, there's a lot of tools in the tool belt here. Man, that again, here we go with the vision. Just watch this play develop. You see the green, there's an alley there. And that jump cut that he sets things up with, just looks natural. It's right. I mean, it's right at the line of scrimmage, and he lets things set up well. It's just really promising to see a kid doing that already. He kind of has some of the traits that you want to see in a true do-it-all kind of running back. The last guy that played for Oklahoma that I would really say is a do-it-all guy. I think Gavin Sawchuk's able to be that and is working towards being that if he can stay healthy. But the last really elite do-it-all running back that Oklahoma had was Joe Mixon. That's a guy that could do everything you asked him to and excel just for the level of athlete that he was. Now, I would say that those two guys, Mixon and Tatum here, are similar athletes. I would say Mixon maybe has a higher ceiling, at least at this point in their careers. But when Mixon was coming out of high school, he was a 5-star. Tatum was right on the fringe of being a 5-star. So, similar builds, similar athletic profiles, both extremely impressive athletes and guys that can do a lot of different things with the football. And so that's what's really exciting about him. Another thing that shows up in this film, especially whenever he breaks into the open field, is some of the discipline. He, the things that you want to see. Not only is he being patient and letting blocks set up for him, but he's also switching the ball over into the outside arm. So you're keeping the defender, or the football away from the defender to the sideline. It's just one of the things that you see veterans do. You see him do it here as he is approaching the second level and breaks through, switches that ball over and keeps it from getting in harm's way. Man, this cut. You just, some things, folks, you just can't coach, and that's one of them. That's one of those plays. He's just special. He has an opportunity to be special, and if DeMarco Murray is speaking highly of this guy as a freshman, then you know that there's something there. And I really like what I'm seeing from Tatum here to this point. The film is incredibly impressive, and a lot of the things that really impress you about this film is yes, there are some plays where it's easy to run through a hole that's 4 feet wide, but like this play in particular here, this is just one of the examples. There's a lot of plays that show his ability to run through what looks like a minimal crease, and he's able to bust it for a big play. this is one of those examples. And the burst, the acceleration, the explosion out of the crease is what really makes this guy a home run hitter. And as he just develops and gets more familiar with what Oklahoma wants to do with the new offensive system, I guess, if you want to call it that, it's still going to be very similar to what Jeff Lebby did with Oklahoma, but with what you see Joe John Finley bringing to the table, and what you see Seth Luttrell bringing to the table. They're going to want to run the ball downhill, be physical, lots of zone, and you're stretching the defense and forcing them to put guys in the box. And this is one of those running backs that, whether you put guys in the box, whether you try to force him to be a threat outside as a receiver, if he's a zone guy, if you're wanting to run gap schemes, he can do it. And he hits the hole hard and brings all of that to the table in one package. And you don't get that a lot of times. And so I do think what Oklahoma is getting in Taylor Tatum is absolutely special. Will he be a contributor day one is what most people are wondering. If Gavin Sawchuk continues on the trend that he was on to end the season, I would say, more likely than not, it's going to be Sawchuk who's getting the carries. But folks, Oklahoma's entering the SEC. This is a different ball game. This is a different style of football that you're going to see week in and week out. It's physically punishing. There is a lot of things that happen to running backs over the course of a season that just wear on them. And at some point, especially given Gavin Sawchuk's injury history, wish nothing but health for the kid, but there's going to be an opportunity, more likely than not, for some other guys to carry the rock. And it looks like Taylor Tatum could be a guy that's ready to do that right away. So, seeing it carry over to the college game is definitely something that most people should have concerns about, and that's something to have healthy concerns about. If you're a fan is wondering, can a guy from Longview, Texas turn into or continue the trend of being an elite player at the University of Oklahoma? I would point to yes. I would say yes at this point. More likely than not, that he has the tools that translate right away. And as as the physical development comes along, as his ability to understand what he's being asked to do comes along in his development, I think he's only going to blossom and continue to become more and more impressive. So really like what Oklahoma's getting in Tatum. So back-to-back weeks here, we've talked Eddie Pierre-Louis, now we're talking Taylor Tatum. There's definitely more guys to come, and definitely a lot more impact freshmen coming down the pipe. So make sure you're staying tuned in here at Field Vision over on the OU Insider YouTube channel. And if you're not subscribed over at OUinsider.com, you've got to get over there now. There's a lot of good things coming this way. We've got SEC Media Days just a few weeks away, and Oklahoma joins the SEC in less than 2 weeks. So think about that. There are so many things coming up that you'll want to be a part of. Oklahoma is in on several big-time softball transfers, trying their best to land Niger, as is everybody else in the country. But on top of that, you've got fall camp coming up in just a matter of weeks. You've got the 2024 season right around the corner, and we're going to cover that better than anybody over at OUinsider.com. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you're getting over there and doing that. We'd love to take care of you and bring all the latest information on Oklahoma ball, softball, basketball, you name it, we cover it. And you guys are going to really enjoy what Brandon and Parker and Jesse and the other guys over there do. So go over there, check it out, and appreciate you guys watching this. We'll catch you next week on the next episode of Field Vision. Maybe we'll go to the defensive side of the ball. Who knows? We'll see. But appreciate you guys once again. Have a good one.